Hello, everyone. Um, let's hop right into this one. Um, we have the Ten of Swords here. Um, right now, where you are is because of some kind of limiting belief, some kind of a thought in your head that's keeping you trapped, or a belief that you hold that's keeping you from moving forward, right? Chariot here. Um, some kind of limiting belief that is keeping you from moving forward. Um, what I would see here, um, what I would guess that pertains to, with the High Priestess here, in the position of what needs to be cut away, um, maybe you're holding on to some kind of spiritual belief too tightly. Maybe you're too rigid. Um, in a certain practice. Maybe the thing is, believe whatever you want, right? Um, I think religion and spirituality is a beautiful thing that it helps people, right? It gives people um, comfort, and it gives people a lot of um, a lot of what's the word? And not quite purpose. I can't think of the word. Whatever. Um, what you need to realize is that life is not predictable. Life is not entirely predictable. You cannot know everything that there is to know, and you cannot presume to know what is right. You hold your beliefs, right? You hold your truths in. You hold your beliefs and your truths, and they are true to you, right? But what other people believe in is just as true to them, right? And who are you to say that their truth is not right? You know, who are you to say that your truth is better than theirs? Um, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in that kind of regard. I we use spirituality and religion to explain things that we don't understand, right? Um, I hold my own beliefs. And they are things that, in my mind, have been proven to me over and over and over again, right? They have been, these signs and things that, over time, has created a truth in my mind of that I now believe in it, right? I also realize that something could come along, maybe in the scientific field, maybe something could come along, and all of a sudden, I realize that my beliefs are wrong. I realize that my truths are wrong. Um, and that's the reality of life, right? Giving yourself a chance to be wrong is a beautiful gift. Um, you don't want to be a zealot. You don't want to be a zealot. You don't want to believe in something so much that you're blind to truth. Provable, actionable truth, right? We have the Hanged Man here, a differing perspective, right? And what we're looking for here is balance, right? With the Temperance coming out here. What we're looking for here is balance, right? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. What we're looking for here is balance, right? Between your beliefs and the beliefs of others, right? You don't want to be a zealot. You don't want to think your way is right. You don't want to think your way or the highway type of thing. Be open to a different perspective on what success can look like, right? With a limiting belief, right? And where things are likely heading, right? It seems like there's some kind of conviction, some kind of forward momentum towards balance, right? I think you're getting a perspective right now that is helping to break away that rigidity that you have. Now, I don't presume to know your situation. I don't presume to know why you're coming across this video. I don't presume to know why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. That's kind of the beauty I've found of tarot, is these cards come out and they tell a story. And whether people relate to that story, whether it helps them, or not, is really entirely up to the person watching the video, right? It's not that I don't believe that there's something to this, right? I would say I've been watching. My whole journey started. I mean, I don't even think 2.5 years ago, something like that, when all this started for me. And it started with tarot readings on YouTube, right? Just randomly showing up. I'd never watched one in my life. And something really tough happened and they showed up. And they helped me. They also hurt me in a lot of ways. And I had to learn how to, be discerning, kind of understand what it all was. I think there's a reason, right? I really do. I think there's a reason I've heard so many things at certain times in my life. I think there are reasons I've watched certain videos at certain points in my life. I think there's a reason I've read certain books at certain times in my life, right? Watched certain shows, learned certain things from different types of media, heard different things from different people, right? At certain times in my life when I could actually use it, right? When I could actually do something with it. And I think now, with access to everything that we have, right? Obviously, you can find whatever you want and look for whatever you want. And it's up to you whether you're looking at things that are actually going to help you or whether, you're going to stay here, right? That's really the long and short of it. Yeah, some kind of perspective coming in, differing perspective, to bring you out of that Ten of Swords, right? That self-imposed, I don't know if this is necessarily you being a zealot, closed-minded, maybe none of those things. I mean, it might just be a specific type of sign you're holding on to, or a specific thought that you think there's no way that it's not true, or even that it has to happen a certain way, right? Like, for example, if you want love, in your life, um, a romantic partner, even. Let's get more specific. Romantic partner, right? But you are so rigid in how you expect the other person to be, um, you may miss out on something really special, right? You may miss out on things you never even thought you would love, right? You may miss out on things about another person that, like, you meet someone, right? They don't tick every box, but then you find there are boxes you didn't even think of, right? You find there are certain traits that you didn't even think, right? You wouldn't have ever thought of until you met this person, and there it was. Um, that is the beautiful thing about life, right? You meet people, things are different, things are interesting, right? Something's different, things change. Um, yeah. This is what you're looking for, all right? Balance, reciprocity. Um, yeah. And I think you're gonna get there. I think you're gonna get there. And I hope this helps. Yeah. See you in the next one.